What's going on? My name's Tommy, Fight Camp Trainer, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down a step-by-step guide to throwing the jab, most famous punch in boxing. This video is perfect for you if you're just starting out in boxing and you're learning how to box, if you're trying to box and work out from home, or if you're just looking for some tips on how to improve your jab. Alright, before we get started with this video, let me know in the comments section below, where are you in your boxing journey right now? Are you just starting out or do you have some experience? What are you struggling with? Let me know if there's any tips that you want me to cover in future videos. Alright, so let's get into this. We're going to start it out in our stance. I'm going to start it out in an orthodox stance because I am right-handed. Now remember, if you are left-handed, you're going to do the opposite and you're going to be in what we call a southpaw stance with your right hand leading. Again, I am right-handed. I'll start with my left hand leading in the orthodox stance. Now the jab, as some of you guys know, is the most important punch in all of boxing. It helps you establish your range, helps you set up your big power shots, and it helps you keep that opponent away from you. So the jab sometimes is as much offensive as it is defensive. So here's how we throw a jab from a neutral long-range stance. I have my rear hand up so that I'm protected defensively. I have my lead hand cheating out from my face a little bit, just like this. And you're going to want to go in a straight line from the point of origin right here directly to your opponent. And as I do that, I'll do it one more time. Notice that I'm transferring a little bit of weight through my hips. And as I go out, I'm snapping my wrist, turning my knuckles over so that I can maximize my impact. So again, we start from that long range stance. I have my rear hand up. I throw my hand directly in a straight line from the point of origin. Boom, directly to the target, to the opponent. And then I bring it back just like that. So again, that's how you throw that jab. You're in a nice neutral stance. Rear hand is up, protecting your body and your face. Lead hand is cheating out a little bit. You snap it out in a straight line with as much speed as you can, directly from the point of origin, boom, to your opponent. You make sure you tuck your chin right directly into your shoulder, and then you bring it back. Now watch as I do this. I tuck my chin in my shoulder like I said. I turn my hips so that I can get a little bit of extra power, and I snap my wrist over so that my knuckles land horizontally. That's going to allow you to maximize the speed and the power on that jab while remaining defensively sound. All right, so that's the jab. Two of the most common mistakes that I see when beginners first start out throwing the jab, number one, they'll take an indirect route back to their face. So they'll throw the jab out, and then when they bring the jab back to their face, they'll drop their hand and bring it back indirectly rather than bringing it back in a straight line. This is bad for two reasons. So number one, defensively, it's going to leave your face open to get hit. You throw that jab out, you bring it back like this, you're really susceptible to a right hand coming in on this side. The other thing that it's going to do is it's going to mess up your other punches, down the line in the chain of the combination that you're throwing. So let me show you an example. I'll throw a jab, cross, and a hook, and I'll do it wrong. I'll bring the hand indirectly back to my face. So I throw that jab out, and then I bring it back indirectly. I throw the cross now. Now when I go to throw that lead hook, I'm already starting that lead hook from a bad position. It's down by my waist. So now when I throw that lead hook, it's not going to be as fast and as fundamentally sound as it should have been, as you see. So those are the most common mistakes that you see with beginners. We'll cover some more of them in a future video. All right, the next thing I'm going to cover here with the jab is stepping and jabbing. So a lot of times when your opponent or the bag is a little bit out of range, it's a little far away from you, you need to know how to properly push off your back leg and reach that target and close that distance with the jab. So let me step back a second here on this line and notice I'm remaining in my stance with my lead toe on the line and my rear heel on the line. So I have my hands up here, and I'm going to pretend that my opponent is just a little bit out of reach from my neutral stance. What you want to do is push off your back leg to get that propulsion, and as you do that, you step with your lead leg and throw your jab, and the jab and the lead leg will land at the same time. Now watch me. I'm going to step out, push off my back leg. As that jab lands on the bag or on the opponent, my lead leg lands, and then I bring that rear leg with me. So let me do that in real time for you. I got my elbows in. I'm in a nice fundamentally sound neutral stance. I throw that jab out from my face to the target. I tuck my chin so that I'm fundamentally safe and sound and I can't get clipped with the hook. and then I bring that rear leg with me. A couple more times. Step, throw. And one more. Now, a common thing that I hear from a lot of beginners is that the jab is really, it's not a powerful punch. It's a very ineffective punch. And I think that's why when you see a lot of beginners try to box, they just step in, they start throwing a lot of haymakers, and they completely forget about the jab. And that couldn't be any further from the truth. Legends were born based off of just their ability to jab their way through fight. You think of people like Muhammad Ali. They're able to float around that ring, frustrate their opponent, land a lot of jabs so they can set up that power punch. And then you think of people a little bit more recently, like the heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko, who literally jabbed his way to 14 heavyweight title defenses. So the jab is 100% an essential punch, and it can be very powerful when you throw it nice and strong and fundamentally sound. So let's review what fundamentally sound means. Again, you start from your stance, lead leg on that line, lead heel on that line, hands up, elbows in, rear hand covering your face and your body, lead hand cheating out just a little bit. When you throw that jab, you throw it in a straight line directly from your face to the bag or to the opponent. As I do that, I tuck my chin directly in my shoulder so that I'm safe defensively, and I turn my hand over so that when my knuckles land on the target, they land horizontally just like this. So I start like this, my hand goes straight out, and it comes straight back. It doesn't take an indirect route back to my face. And remember, you step directly by pushing off that rear leg so you get a lot of propulsion, a lot of power. Watch me. Just like that. Now remember, you're not going to master the jab in just a couple days or a couple weeks or even a couple months. The jab is something that it takes years or even a lifetime to master. The top fighters in the world are still working every single day to master their jab and to master their technique. Boxing's something that it takes a lifetime to master. The key to mastering any of these techniques in boxing is very slow and very deliberate repetition. My pro tip is to stand in front of a mirror, have that mental model of what that proper technique is supposed to look like, and very slowly and deliberately practice that technique in the mirror while looking at yourself. Alright, so we make new videos like this every single week. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you can be one of the first to know when we upload new content. I'll see you in the next video.